So how's the Bioblitz going?
It's fun. It's addicting. Everywhere I go, I'm looking at plants, and I'm saying, "What is that? What is that?" And I most of the time I don't know what it is.
I found that like as I've been using it, it's helped me get to know the plants around me a little better than if I hadn't been using it. I can say my favorite observation, the Dutchman's Britches near Hillside Woods. And I love them because they're native plants that grow in really cool habitats. And so every time you find yourself looking at Dutchman's Britches, you know you're kind of in a cool place.
One of the most commonly photographed plants in the Bioblitz is skunk cabbage, which is a really fascinating plant, and it captures people's attention because it blooms so early. When the woods looks like a bare ground, brown leaves, suddenly you get this like alien looking bright green leafy dinosaur plant. And it flowers in February because it's a plant that can make its own heat, right? Thermogenesis is really rare. It can be, I think, 30 degrees outside and 72 degrees inside the flower in February. So it's a really cool plant to know about in our ecosystem. So Devin, have you seen anything that you haven't seen before this month?
Yeah, I found a fungus that is really super bizarre, looks like an alien, and it's called cedar apple rust. It's very interesting fungus. It needs two different tree species to exist. And so it needs an apple and a cedar, which is really a juniper. Its common name is cedar, which is so annoying because there is actually a genus of trees called cedar. I don't know why they call the junipers cedar. Anyway, pet peeve. Yeah, so it starts on one of these and creates spores, and it's carried by the wind, and it ends up on the other one, and then it germinates there, and it creates a different kind of spore, which the wind carries back to the other one, and it goes back and forth. And if you look at the picture, it's really just a bizarre, these jelly orange arms coming out of it's totally alien.
Devin and I have both talked about how iNaturalist is a really useful tool for monitoring phenology of different types of plants, which is just referring to the timing of different events like flowering and fruiting.
Well, the other interesting thing about the phenology, if we could do a Bioblitz every April for the next 15 years, there are societies all over the world that are using phenological sort of timelines to kind of get a sense of how the climate is shifting. And that's all, and it's a dance between the things that need those seeds at the right time and where they are in their migration. There's a whole kind of like cascading series of effects that happens. So it'd be an interesting thing to chart over time.
I think the Bioblitz has captured a pretty good representation of like generally the flora of Hastings, at least kind of the early spring flora of Hastings.
I always counsel people to really pay attention to the incipience of spring, because suddenly like you miss a couple of weeks and like, wait a minute, how did all those flowers get there? But if you watch them coming, first of all, it lengthens the season so that you can kind of really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And especially in this crazy time we're in, the sense of time is all really warped and unusual. So it's a good time to really observe what's happening in nature.
If people could take many pictures of all different angles and areas of a plant, it would be so much easier to identify it.
And taking more than one picture can really help you get to know a plant better.
Definitely.
Think about the different features of a plant and really looking at it.